We have arguably the most power-hungry administration in the history of this country. This is the same administration that's claimed the right to refuse to allow the Justice Department to pursue a contempt of Congress subpoenas, and has argued that executive privilege goes on to count for people who work for the White House when the president isn't even involved. I've never thought I'd say this, but you seriously have to wonder if there was another terrorist attack, if Bush and Gonzalez wouldn't find a reason to try to suspend elections.
Matt, this is Laura. I can't wait to hook up with you when I get back to Chicago, Matt. You are right on.
Well, let me ask the two of you, why aren't the Democrats screaming about this? I mean, as many Democrats voted for the Patriot Act, and Matt, you know that I'm against the Patriot Act, but just to stir the pot here a little bit, why aren't the Democrats screaming about this? Why are they willing even to consider changing the FISA law yet again to make it easier for the president to snoop on us?
Because one, they want to look tough on crime and tough on terror. And two, they want to let the Republicans go at it. Senator Specter's been a great friend of the Democrats for the last few weeks, actually last year, going after Gonzalez and the FISA Act.
Matt?
Well, actually, if you really want to know the answer to that, all you have to do is take a look at the treatment Senator Specter got for his disagreement with Gonzalez. Fox News reported on it, and all of a sudden, Arlen Specter's now the Democrat from Pennsylvania.
That's right. They pulled up, they said Specter Democrat instead of Republican by mistake.
Hey, Matt, thanks very much for the call. We appreciate it. Steve and Karen Crow, Louisiana. Steve, you did not like what Congressman Barr was saying. Why not?
I feel like I'm listening to Air America.
Here you go. I'm glad you're calling to keep us honest. Go ahead.
Judge, I don't mind listening to a liberal like Kirsten, but when you got somebody that I feel like I'm listening to Combs, she wouldn't say the Republicans were ever right about anything.
Well, look.
You got to be more objective.
Are you willing to give up your fundamental natural liberties to the president, no matter who the president is?
We're not giving them up.
If you let the president snoop on you, you're giving up your right to privacy. If you let the Patriot Act stay in law, you're giving up your freedom of speech because it criminalizes certain speech.
He's not snooping on me.
You don't know that. And I tell you, the first time we see somebody, how do you know that?
And when they do, they report it. And there's been reports when they've made mistakes.
Hey, there's a lot more that we're going to see coming out. Steve, you don't know what kind of ledger is on you with the FBI or the Department of Justice or your local police department.
In Riverside, California, Robert, welcome to Brian and the Judge.
My favorite president is Abraham Lincoln. And Abraham Lincoln did a lot of things that were considered unconstitutional, such as throwing governors and congressmen in jail.
Oh, sure. Lincoln locked up Congressman Clement Vallandigham, a Republican from Ohio, because he spoke out against the war. Lincoln closed down offices of newspapers in the North because they were speaking out against the war. Lincoln had troops arrest people and hold them without ever bringing them to a judge because they were speaking out against the war. Note the offense: publishing, printing, speaking. Aren't those things protected by the First Amendment? Why is Lincoln your favorite president?
You know what? Lincoln's my favorite president because he thought outside of the box necessarily at a time now. And maybe when it comes down to it, if you go a little bit further into Abraham Lincoln, maybe he isn't the greatest president.
Lincoln, he thought outside the box for that time. It does worry me that people give President Bush a pass for thinking outside of the box because we're facing this new age of terrorism. The president
only has the powers that the Constitution has given him. The Congress can't give him any powers that the Constitution doesn't give him because the Congress doesn't have the power to do that. The Congress can't say to the president, okay, Mr. President, the times are tough and the terrorists are everywhere. You can bypass the Fourth Amendment. You can lock up whoever you want. You don't have to bring them to trial. You don't have to press charges against them. You can listen to any of their telephone calls and you can capture all their keystrokes. The Congress doesn't have the power to do that. That would require an amendment to the Constitution, which I don't think the American people are prepared to undergo at this point.
Proving you don't have to yell to make a point. Oh, okay. It's Brian and the Judge on Fox News Talk.